Hello, Nigeria. There's no better place to be, so don't you ever change that dial. What's up, everybody? It's Kabam Zasukwa, and you're watching Hello, Nigeria.
Hello Nigeria and welcome back to the show. This is Layla Johnson Salami alongside the beautiful Oliver Modi, and we are joined by one of Lagos State's finest photographers, KOLA OSHALUSI. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good to have you, KOLA. Usually you would see KOLA at events on the red carpets, taking all the pictures, the pretty pictures. It feels good to have you sit down on my set and answer our questions.
In front of the camera today and not behind.
Not behind the camera.
How does it feel, though, to be in front of the camera and not behind?
Not as bad as I used to think it should be, but you know, it's
Are you
easier
camera shy?
Before now, yes. For now, I mean, I don't have an option. Now I have to stay in front of the camera sometimes. Oh. But I mean, I'm more of, you know, behind the camera. That's where I make the money from. So
okay.
Stay behind the camera.
So KOLA, give us a background on your photography. I mean, I look at your work, extremely creative. It is great. You've been all around the globe. You've done it all, you know. So give us a quick background and let's get to know you better.
Okay, I didn't start out as a photographer. I did like every other thing. I studied every other thing except photography.
What are the every other things?
Okay, yeah, I studied science lab tech. At some point, I was a scientist. Then I moved into computing. So yeah, I studied computer science, majored in graphics. Then life happened, then I moved into photography. But I mean, it was more of getting prepared. You know, I spent almost 7 years working in the lab. In a medical lab. Yeah, I was working in a medical lab. I was a scientist. Wow. Yeah, medical scientist. Yeah. So I mean, I was used to the microscope. I mean, organisms were my friends. Yeah. So
were you passionate about photography like all your life?
Not really, you know. But I think some way, somehow, you know, I grew up wanting to be a pilot. I loved watching cartoons. I wanted to see the world, you know, in my own way. Then, fortunately, my parents couldn't afford to send me to any aviation school or aeronautical school. Yeah, so some way, somehow, photography became the thing, you know.
Was there like a moment of discovery when you decided, you know, this photography, this is it? Or did you just stumble into it?
It's hunger that will give you moment. It's hunger.
Hunger? Hunger will make you realize your talent. But then I think your science background also helped. Because you've worked with microscopes, microscope rather, your attention to detail would come from that.
So like I said, it was more like everything I studied, everywhere I worked, actually prepared me. So, because I majored in graphics, it was easy for me to understand. You know, photography, I was just moving fresh into the digital age then, 13 years ago. So, I was moving fresh into the digital age. So, it was easy for me to understand, you know, images, you know, pixels, rasterizing, every other thing, you understand? And I was already good with the microscope. So, it was easy for me to know how to work around that, you know, see what I need to see, find what I need to find, know how to go looking for what I need to see at every point in time, yeah. So it was more of a journey, not just a moment. It was a journey, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now that you've ventured fully into photography, now I'm sure back then it wasn't as lucrative as it is now.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of money in photography
now yeah, plenty.
But back then, it wasn't this lucrative. Did you foresee that photography would be what it is today?
I actually did. So, and I got lucky. So I searched for the part or the field of photography that everybody saw as a scum part of photography, which was the red carpet. The red carpet photographers then were seen as the scums. I mean, sorry to use such a word. They were not respected. They were not paid well. They didn't see them as anything. They saw them as the dropouts that were hustlers and all that. So no one really counted them as serious photographers. So it was easy for me to see, understanding how many events happen in Lagos, understanding people love to take pictures, irrespective of how they pretend not to sometimes.
And we love events in Lagos,
you know, this is Lagos, no? Echo for sure. So I knew things would change, but then I knew I had to do something about it. So it would have been easier for me to have stayed in every other field, you know, weddings that was making the money and all that. But then I moved into that, and it was way easier for me because the challenge was there for a few years. But when people started seeing that this guy understands what he's doing, he knows what he wants, and I'm patient. I mean, what's the point in taking a picture if you're not going to look good? So I take my time to ensure you actually look good. Yeah. So for me, that was key. And, you know, from that point on, it became easy. But it was really, really challenging.
Did you think that the editing process was going, did you think about the editing process of photography, like before you ventured into it? Because if there's one thing that I understand, the editing process is pretty much the hardest part.
So you see, the thing is this. So this is how I think. Because of the digital world, everybody thinks editing. But have you ever thought of photography in the analog world? What were they doing? They weren't editing.
Prints.
Yeah, they weren't editing. What were they doing? They were getting it right. So they ensured the knowledge was right, the framing was right. So because of good knowledge, it was easier for them to take the best images without editing. So for me, I thought more of taking the best images. So let me shock you. 85% of my images are not retouched.
Are not?
Retouched.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. 85% of my images are not retouched.
So you're just focusing on getting the lighting,
I get my lighting right, I get everything right, and I shoot. Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
most of the time, for most of my clients, I share content real time with most of my clients. So for most of the online platforms I work for, I mean, yeah, I share content sometimes in real time. So there's no time to edit. So the key thing is get the images right, get the body right, get the perspective right, get the angles right, get everything right, because the images needs to go out like now.
Yes, I know that. If there's one thing I know that you're particular about is paying attention to details.
Oh, yeah, it's
so
key.
you can't just be in a hurry on the red carpet
it's
and just
key.
want to hurry.
It's key.
KOLA will tell you to arrange yourself properly before he takes a picture.
Image is key. Image is everything.
So now let's talk about dealing with celebrities, because those are the people on the red carpet. And if we're being honest, we know that celebrities, some of them, they're humans first of all for their celebrities. Some of them have attitude. You know, how are you able to manage the diva attitudes of some celebrities on the red carpet?
I think we all have attitude. I mean, we're all guilty, you understand? But I think the key thing is trust. So it was challenging initially because celebrities wanted to look good. A lot of them didn't understand. The Nigerian entertainment event space was also just evolving to, so we had very few that had broken through internationally. So it was still somehow, a lot of them didn't really understand, even till now, a lot of them find it really hard understanding the power of imagery. You understand? So key thing is they actually wanted to look good. So all they needed was someone to convince them that they actually look good and they can look good on the carpet and make them understand that it's key that I take good pictures of you. So it was challenging initially, but every time they go back and they look at those pictures, some I let them look through the camera while I'm shooting. I say, okay, look at what the image looks like. Are you okay? I'm like, oh, I don't like the way my face looks, but it looks good though. Okay, you know what, let's try it again. So some way, somehow, they get to trust me. So it became easier. So when they see me, even if they don't want to do pictures, they're like, okay, you know what, I trust him. Let's do pictures. Yeah.
That's amazing. So when you're off the red carpet, what would you say is your favorite thing, or shall I say place, or whatever really, to photograph? What do you like the most? Aside the red carpet, obviously.
Okay, so I'm known for red carpet, but I do like loads of stuff. I do fashion, I do still life, I do a lot of architecture, photography, yeah.
If you had to pick one over all of them,
yeah,
though,
which is your favorite?
Because we're seeing these days that photographers always choose a certain area and focus all their energy. So we have wedding photographers, we have baby photographers, we have maternity photographers, and some of them just pick one area. So if you had to pick one area, because now you're doing a lot.
No, me, I'm the money photographer. I'm the money photographer. Because I'm the money photographer, it's money, you understand?
So you're not
Oh, no.
So
the thing is this, some way, somehow, over the years, because I've been lucky to have honed my skills in more than one discipline. Photography is really huge. Forget the fact that I've just mentioned 4 or 5 that I do, and I actually do them well. These few ones that I do, and I've failed to expand into other areas. Photography has almost 20-something fields, if not more, disciplines. So I've only focused on 5. Now, I love people. I love good looks. I love happy people. So I would love to possibly focus on portraits. And trust me, I love looking good. So I'll do fashion as well. So it's hard. It's hard for me pulling those 2 things. You know.
You just want to tie it all into one.
But you see, even for my event, because I do all of these things, my event images are different. So I have all of that in mind. I don't see as a subject. I see as so many things. I see colors, I see shape, I see texture, I see design. So when I'm shooting you wearing a dress, you understand, I want to see how best you look good in that dress. So beyond me taking a picture of you standing straight, I want to see how best you look in that dress. So it's not just you, it's about you and the dress and the space. I'm so sorry, yeah, that's it.
Do you tell your clients talk Bele?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a very critical thing, because nobody wants to come out and see the
no,
Honestly.
I mean, Bele is important. You gotta suck it out, suck it in, you know. Well, I mean, it's important you make people feel confident about themselves, and you let them understand that you want them to look good every time you take their pictures. So yeah, it's a mix of those. Yeah.
All right. So beyond honing the skills for yourself,
Yeah.
we on our show are very passionate about giving back. I mean, we just had a volunteer come on our show.
Oh, yeah.
Are passionate about giving back this knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
And are there any ways you plan to give back?
Oh, I've been giving back since like forever, and this is my mantra. The only way to the top is to pull as many people as possible up. If you don't, the terrible thing is this. You don't even really know where you are. You think you're at the top because every other person is right there. So you don't know you're just about here. But for you to get here, people have to get almost here. For you to understand that you need to move up. So for me, the mantra is pull as many people up as possible. So beyond photography, I do a lot of givebacks. There's a project I used to do 7, 8 years ago. I kind of paused a little. I called it The Making. It was more of the fashion industry. So I picked 10 designers every year, shoot their collections for free,
Really?
get them
Why
publicity.
are you not doing it again?
Yeah,
We've put you to the test. But like, you should start.
Now you
that.
got
it will happen. It's like a lot of other things I'm involved in. So now I'm doing photographers. I take 10 photographers every year as intern, train them for about 6 months. After 6 months, we absorb some of them to work on the team. Then others we let them go to practice, but we can always call them in if we've got jobs for them as well. So they become like contract photographers. Then we have those with see as full-time photographers. I've been doing that for like 4 years now. Yeah, so then there's the new project I'm doing called the Business of Photography Conference. So over time, I've realized that, yes, it's good to own the skills, but then it's important to earn a living. And a lot of people see certain skills as side hustle. Photography is not side hustle. I left every other thing to do this, and I've been doing this for 12 years.
Wow.
So if I've been doing this for more than 12 years, the key thing is this. There has to be something about it. And I realized that if you have the skill and you're not making money, then there's a problem. Remember I said red carpet wasn't seen as anything. So then they were paying red carpet photographers like 5,000 naira. Yeah, that was what they were paying. And they will waste their time a lot. They will tell you event starts at 5. You get there at 5, event starts at midnight. I've had cases like that. I've had to stay at an event for 6, 7 hours, nothing happening. So for me, I said, you know what? It's not going to happen. So I charge my clients per hour. You need me to work for you. You have to value my time. That's all I have. That's all I own. So I charge per hour. I charge you like, you know, so you take my career serious. So I realized a lot of people were doing this job and seeing it as just a job and not a means to make a living. So I decided, you know what? How about I bring everybody in the industry together? And we talk about this. This is a multi-trillion naira industry. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. This is what I've been doing for years. So if I tell you it's a multi-trillion naira industry, it's a multi-trillion. But the government knows nothing about it. They don't even understand. The society doesn't even understand. So thank God for, you know, a lot of young colleagues and older colleagues that are pushing knowledge, you know, and all that. People are trying to understand, and you can proudly say, I'm a photographer now, and people understand you. But before now, it wasn't that way. So now what we're doing is this. We're having a conference called the Business of Photography Conference on the 24th of April at the Landmark Center. We're using the whole of Landmark, you understand? So it's a mix of everything. So there's a marketplace, there's a fair, where you can buy photography equipment at massive discounted rates, you understand? Just come in, look at what they have, and buy. Then we've got the panel session. We've got like 5 different panel sessions. So beyond the photographers comes the finance, comes the legislation, comes the government. So what we've done is this. We've got 5 different panels. We've got photographers panels. Then we've now got the content monetization panels. Everybody within the value chain. Those are the people we're calling. You understand? From that woman down the road that does your side the corner photography, to that guy that runs around at parties taking your pictures, to the guy that sells consumables, that sells batteries, that sells cards, these are part of the value chain. Even to the telecoms company that sell data. It's a digital world. These are people within the value chain. So we're bringing everybody together. So the content monetization panel, we've got people in the stock image industry. We've got people in advertising and all that. Then we've also got the government panel. Let the government come and understand what the industry really needs. They don't know. So legislation and all that, that's where they come in. Finance, we're lucky we've got the development finance director from CBN is going to be on one of the panel. Some other people within the finance sector as well, back end of finance, Flutterwave, we've got them on board as well. They're coming to talk about finance and yeah.
So this is happening on the 24th?
On the 24th of April.
How can people be a part of this?
Just go to www.businessofphotography.net/conference and register for free.
For free?
It is totally free.
Brilliant. So businessofphotography.com/conference.
All right. So you go to .net and just click on the conference.
Okay, so you need to be a part of this, understand how to make money from photography and how to start a career.
www.businessofphotography.net/conference. Yeah.
We've been speaking with the delectable KOLA OSHALUSI. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All the best with your event. Thank you for giving back. We look forward to seeing amazing photographers springing out of that event.
Definitely. I'm so confident.
And we look forward to seeing the industry taking a massive increase.
It will grow.
All right,
Thank you very much.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.